the laws are different. You can't just shoot at people no matter where you are, of course. You know, that's also not a very nice thing to do.
In Texas, you could have a sign that says trespassers will be shot. If people trespass on your property, you can actually shoot them, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's like that.
It's
if you shoot someone,
if someone's charging at you.
yeah, but you have to be able to prove that they are threatening your life. You know, if you just shoot someone, yeah, if you shoot somebody that's in their underwear, it definitely look pretty suspicious. If I shot an underage kid in his underwear and he's unarmed, I would probably get in big trouble.
No, you'd be fine, but if I was black, then you'd be in trouble. That's how the US works right now. Think about it.
Well, I'm not even gonna go there.
You know it's true.
So the US is like, if you shoot a black guy, it's bad now.
It's considered a hate crime, yes. And everybody in Hotlanta wants to go on a riot, and it's just crazy. Things just go down.
What if it happens the other way around? Like a black guy shoots a white guy?
Oh, you know, they're like, hey, don't do it again. Slap the wrist. Ow, that hurt. Fuck.
Because the way you're explaining it right now is exactly how it is in Norway. And I swear to God, that's exactly how it is.
Well, it's because everyone's turning into a communist. It's a Red Scare 3.
Oh, we're turning into a Muslim country, dude. That's what's happening.
You guys are fucked up. Look, don't shoot at people, okay? I don't want to have to shoot at you, so don't come to my doorstep and I won't shoot at you.
Should we vote for a purge?
There was actually supposed to be a purge a month ago in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky.
Whoa.
Like a bunch of teenagers put up flyers everywhere and said, hey, do whatever the fuck you want, and then no one did it because they're bitches. I was totally down to do it. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna kill some people.
Oh, nah, Clyde Gaming says...
I was actually gonna hide and cry, but, you know.
Clyde Gaming asked if we saw the news about the 15-year-old that got 25 to life for making the swatting prank calls.
Yeah,
and I did see the news on that. What'd you guys think about that?
That was crazy, dude. Because the amount of people that actually did it and the one kid that gets caught gets 25 years in prison. That just sucks.
Did you guys think the crime fit the punishment?
No, I think it's just like, hey, don't do that, dude. You shouldn't go to prison for prank calling.
Well, it was more than that. It's more than a prank call. I can prank call someone and say, hey, does your refrigerator running? And you know, that's pretty fucked up. It's not very nice, but it's pretty funny. But those guys that came in, the SWAT team, they came in armed, ready to fire because they thought that he had, you know, whatever, they thought he was armed and dangerous and all that. What if that kid streaming got shot because he had his earphones on, he didn't hear the cops or something, or he didn't listen to instructions correctly, and they, you know, they dropped some tear gas or they dropped in something that actually hurt him or threatened his health or something like that? What if that happened? That's, I think, what the judge is thinking about. That'd be funny for the kid that called, but for the cops that, like, you know, they actually, they're on, okay, 25 years of life. I'm not saying that it was a fair thing. I'm just saying it's more serious than a prank. It's way more serious than a prank when guys come in armed like fucking military, busting in the door, ready to, you know, find some bad guys, ready to shoot up some bad guys or something, and that's just a dude streaming. You know, it's a lot of waste of time and money for the government because there's probably some chick that's, you know, maybe is getting raped, or like a family that's being abused that needs the police, and they're all getting ready and planning a SWAT for some dude that it's just a prank call on. So like, yeah, I'm concerned. I was really concerned about that prank. It's a really bad one, actually. 25 years, that's a little stiff. They tried to do the thing where they make an example out of someone. I don't like when judges do that. I don't like when judges do the maximum just to make an example out of some kid. And when, like Brisper said, there's more people that should be responsible, but it's just one guy that actually gets the whole sentence. Yeah, it was a little stiff, but
in the US are like fucking drug dealers on crack, dude. They beat up people, they shoot people, They're way
Well, not all of them.
easier
Let's
to
not generalize. Let's be fair. I mean, it happens, yeah, but not all of them like that.
It happens too much. If you look at like Norway, Sweden, Scandinavia in general, like in Norway, the police doesn't even have guns. They don't wear guns. The guns are locked down in a box in the car.
Well, in the U.S., everybody has guns, so if the police didn't have any guns, then no one would listen to them, probably.
But
Yeah,
in
pretty
Norway,
Police
you're
would be
not
the only
allowed to
ones
have
getting
guns.
shot.
You're not allowed to have handguns or anything like that in Norway. It's illegal.
It's a really good point. I like to think about that because in Arizona, where I lived before, you could basically trade guns like you trade baseball cards, and with no problem, no license for guns. You could hide your guns. You could do whatever you want with them. You could trade them, like I said, like baseball cards. But I lived there for 3 years. Nobody's running around shooting each other. That's not a problem.
You're not
So-
allowed to walk on the street with a concealed weapon, are you?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, you can have as many as you can fit under your belt. No license in Arizona.
That must be some states only then, because I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
states that you're not allowed to wear a concealed weapon.
Yeah, I think that's true. You have to, if you want to wear a concealed weapon, you just have to get a license. You have to pass a test and pay a fee, and then you can. Here, where I'm at, I can wear a concealed weapon. I just have to pass a test, pay a fee, and sign up for it and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make is not everybody's shooting each other. Now let's look at Norway and other countries. You have a state where everybody can have a gun and conceal and everything. Nobody's running around like Yosemite Sam shooting everything up. Everybody knows everybody has a gun and nobody shoots each other, because the reason nobody shoots each other is because that's just not nice. And I think that 95% of people are decent. Actually, about 99, but maybe 98, 99, okay? Because only 1% of the population suffers from mental disorders that are associated with violence and stuff like that. So, okay, now there's the 1% that are violent and stuff. Those people are going to do bad things whether you give them a gun or not. That's just my opinion. We're being opinionated here. It's okay we be opinionated and sign upstream. As long as it doesn't get too heated. If it gets too heated, we'll change subject. But, okay, so most people are generally nice. So if you give them a gun, they're not going to shoot other people. Or if you don't let them have any guns, and, that's fine too. But there's always the 1% that is going to make it bad for the rest of us. Norway's taught me a lot. That even, if you restrict people from having those kinds of things, that's okay too. If you give everybody one, it seems to work out. I don't know. Whatever. I have respect to all the different cultures.
If you look at the difference of the police in Scandinavia
Ooh, I got a
and
battle pack.
the US runs around with weapons, and they're pretty aggressive when they use their weapons. And in Norway, the police are, I don't know, they're not really, people don't really listen to them in most cases. So they have to beat them with batons and, that way. But,
Yeah.
I mean, they really don't listen to them because they're like, okay, you're the police, whatever. What are you going to do?
Oh shit, if you don't listen to the police around these parts, the police where I live now have gotten in trouble for unnecessary use of deadly force. And so all I know is if the police come to my door, I'm just going to lay down and I'll speak with them from the ground, because I'm probably going to get tased either way. Once they see me, they're going to look into my eyes and see my beard and my long hair. They're going to just tase me probably on the spot. So before I talk to any officers, I learned I'm just going to lay down and I'm going to talk to them from the ground, because I've seen people get tased for just like nothing at all. And sometimes, like, I've actually been in a confrontation with a police officer where I didn't understand their instructions. They instructed me to do something a certain way, but the words that they used, I wasn't used to. Like, they told me to walk. They told me to
Bend
walk
over and
and
spread 'em.
swivel. No, they told me to swivel. They told me to walk and swivel. And I had no fucking idea what swivel means. Is that like some kind of prison talk or some shit? I didn't know what it meant. So I asked the police officer, I says, officer, I actually don't understand what swivel means. And when I said that, they got pissed, man. They were about to fucking mace me probably when I said I didn't understand, because they thought I was maybe talking back. So
What does that mean?
What does it mean? Swivel? It means like keeping your toes in place to like turn around. Like if you go on your tippy toes and you're facing forward, you kind of like keep your feet in place and you turn your body around. You kind of have to balance. So it's a balance test. And yeah, exactly. Like I didn't know what it meant, so I asked a question and they thought that, you know, me asking a question meant that I was not complying to their instructions, but I actually didn't understand this. So yeah, basically, okay, I'm still alive, so that's great. But really, like, most police are very reasonable people, but they're underpaid and they're threatened with their lives every day. So it's hard to keep good cops, I think, and you get bad ones in there, and they make all the cops look bad. And I'm honestly, I'm pretty scared of them. That's why if I ever get in confrontation and the cop seems like he's upset or anything, I'm just going straight to the ground, because that's probably where I'm going to end up, and I would rather go there myself other than falling because I don't have control over my own body. That's what I've learned from the police where I live.
You can look at the scenario though. In US, it's like, freeze, motherfucker, get on the ground or I'll tase you. In Norway, it's like, could you please come over here so I can cuff you?
That's exactly what it's like.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh, dude.
That's how it's like.
The Norway cops wouldn't last 1 second in the US.
Yeah,
they
not
come
at all.
up to you and shake your hand and like, dude, you really need to relax now, and we need to put your cuffs on and we need to take you down to the station.
I'd punch him in the nose.
Yeah, see? You have to deal with people like Brisper in the US.
There's more than one of them. I mean, people do that.
No wonder the cops are all pissed all the time.
There's a lot of them,
Guys like
they're
him.
going to beat you. I mean, they're not pussies. They will go in your face and they will beat you, but they won't do it if it's not really necessary.
Alright, now who would win this? A 6'1", 17-year-old underwear model in his underwear and wrestling a grown man in a cop uniform. I can just yell rape and people are like, hey, that kid's in his underwear getting fucked by a police officer. And then, you know, it'll throw him a bow to the mouth and then I'll just win both ways and I'll be rich.
Yeah. The cop would probably just let you go because he doesn't want to explain that to the judge. Even if like he wasn't at fault, he doesn't want to have to explain himself about that. So he'd be like, look, nothing happened here. Just go home and quit being a douchebag.
That's why I walk around in my underwear. Oh, alright, great topic of discussion. I got a perfect debate for you guys. This is gonna be great. So, Lizard Squad split up due to the fact that all of their friends got caught by the FBI. Now they were labeled as a matter of national security for shutting down only gaming systems. Like, they shut down Twitch, and nothing really that would hurt anybody, except for, you know, people that get paid by Twitch and stuff.
Dude, they fucked up our video games. I'm pissed.
Yeah, but
no, DDoS is though, because if they were to target, if they were to use that technology and that attitude, they could have shut down something they could have shut down government websites and stuff, and that is national security, right? Or at least, so now that's different. Okay, now, so DDoS in general, even if you're DDoSing your friend because it's a video game and you just want to DDoS your friend because you're bad and you just want to win because you suck, like most people DDoS, that is still illegal because that falls under, you know, using the internet to maliciously interfere with internet use and stuff. And that can also fuck with the ISPs too because you're sending all those packets. So all around, it's pretty bad. And no, I believe in it though. I believe people that DDoS, whether you're DDoSing just for fun because you're a troll. Don't get me wrong, I like good trolls. DDoS is one thing I don't like. Because that's the internet, and when the zombie apocalypse comes, that's the first thing that's going to go down, and I have to rebuild the internet. So don't fuck with the internet, for reals. That's something I think that people should not fuck with, because the zombies are going to do it, and during the zombie apocalypse, and that's going to be enough trouble as it is.
What you're going to do is get a samurai sword, no doubt.
Oh, nice. You want to chop zombies? Dude, that is boss mode.
You need to cut some heads, dude. That's how they die.
Oh my god.
Gee, I'm just gonna do some helicopters
good
that
idea.
can fly away.
No, but the fact that the Lizard Squad was DDoSing like gamers, that pissed me off even more. It's like gamers DDoSing gamers. Man, I do believe that those guys should get in a lot of trouble. Those guys need 25 years for fucking